Hi, it's Bloody Mary in New Orleans, and I'm going to share with you a little piece of a class about New Orleans Voodoo. Listen into the water spirits info.
Today is about the water spirits, maybe a few water spells, as well as a head wash at the end if you care to participate. A head wash is feeding the spirits as well as head washing and cleansing you in preparation for, I suppose, getting ready to embrace or even marry the Loa that has chosen you or that you were trying to work with at the time. So we feed the spirits through the head, especially right in here. This will require you wrapping your head up after we make our concoction and sleeping with it over the night, paying attention to your dreams. And I assume now I'm giving official homework. If you want to go farther or deeper into the master classes, you have to do a little work. I'm saying greetings to all of you from New Orleans. I'm Bloody Mary. I'm in New Orleans. It's dry now, even though it's been forecasted as a hurricane day. It was barely even a thunderstorm, frankly, not even just heavy rain. And some water for our water spells from it, because rainwater is always good to use. Rainwater is holy water in voodoo. You can use a gentle rainwater for more gentle things, and you can use a storm to try to stir the pot, I suppose, if you need to, which you might on occasions. I don't generally suggest that as a way to get what you're after by, causing trouble, because it usually backfires. However, there may be occasions for a little more storms to rock the boat, you might say, instead of just the gentle rain. But we do use the water in ritual baths, in water spells, in all sorts of things. So save your rainwater, especially in those people's areas that it rarely rains, right? Here it's all over the place because we have the highest rainfall in the country. So today we're going to be talking about some of the water spirit family in voodoo and a few water spells and rituals. There's families of voodoo spirits. Sometimes they're called nations. So I'm just going to fan myself since it's not as cool as it should be in here. But we're going to be sitting here by all my altars. Each one of these cubicles is generally dedicated to a different Loa or voodoo with a little v, mysteries in voodoo. And then there's favorite offerings and favorite colors and things that go with them that I have in each cube. If I'm doing a specific working that's more with Loa, I'll also take out all their stuff and add more stuff for them around the center post on a special table for the ritual working. So I've got lots of, there's a mermaid back there in the corner. There's a bigger one on the altar here. There's a little tiny one that I could do my to-go with. And sometimes if I'm out, let's say at the beach or at the side of a bayou or a thing, we'll draw things actually in the earth, in the mud, and use things that we find in the earth, in the mud, to bring back, to put on our altars, to bring that energy back home. Of course, also the water itself. I have waters from all over the world. And when people travel that I know, I ask them to bring me two things, usually rocks and water. And I have all these different waters that have different energies in them. I may mix them together in a spiritual bath. I may use them to feed some of the spirits, but I also use that to connect the flow all over the world and bring it back in. So water, we're made of mainly water, aren't we? Water, even though I guess by classic definition, humans are mud people made of the earth, But earth and water. So swamp is the best aspect for that in between. So we're here in New Orleans. Yesterday I did a little talk with a local author, another bayou girl, and we talked about the bayou mermaids, the freshwater mermaids, as well as the deep sea mermaids, and there's different aspects of them. So lots of spirits in voodoo have that energy, that mermaid energy. So La Sardine, which is the French word for mermaid, right? She is one of the Loas in Haitian voodoo. In New Orleans, we went with the water aspect, and here she's specifically known as Maman-Yu. The Memi water is all over the world, and she too is like a fish woman, or the body of a woman and the tail of a snake, the body of a woman, the tail of a fish. That type of thing. So She's to my right. Her husband, who cheats on her, I guess, but I guess that's okay. Her husband, Agwe, is kind of like the Poseidon in voodoo. He is the head of his ship, right? And his ship, just to confuse you, it's not only in the seas, but it's in the cosmic seas above in the stars, right? So we've got him, and he is her husband, but he's also married to Erzulie, who is like the voodoo virgin, the goddess of love. In a way, there are many emanations because La Serena is also described as Erzulie of the deep sea. So, you know, they're either sisters or emanations of each other, but the husband is Agwe. La Baline, it is, you could say a child, but some say it is also La Serena. La Baline is the whale. Good fortune and travel and luck and coins are good offerings to La Baline out there as well. And then Agasu, he's the older brother, you might say. And he is an interesting character. And he's also associated with cats and crabs. So Agasu is cat people. He is very cool. And he's also in this family, the family of the water spirit. Someone would like to ask a question, they may. And I think there might be one there, but I still have to get up. Hello. Would it be wise to use the Mississippi water for a head washing today? Sure, if you have some, absolutely. Absolutely use the water. And just a little. We're only talking about, you know, obviously you're not, unless you're from here, you don't have lots and lots of Mississippi water. You only add a capful, okay? This is to bring the energies of here to you there. So yes, you can use the Mississippi water for sure. I bottle that. I bottle St. John's Bayou water. I bottle water from the Gulf Coast and you know, all different places that I'll blend together. As I said, you don't have to do the head washing today, but if you do the head washing today, be aware that you must sleep with this goop on your head overnight, and it's messy and no sex. You must be pure over the night and wait for the dreams. So if you just want to bless some of the ingredients that you have today and do it on a night that you'll be able to devote more to wearing the head scarf with everything on it, then you can wait. But if you have the ingredients now, bring them out so we can, you know, awaken them as well. And then you can add different things to them lately. We are going to feed the spirits as well as you are fed with the spirit. The spirits are fed through you, through your head. So it's a head washing. It's also known sometimes as a baptism. Thanks for explaining. Hello, Australia. Morning, morning, morning. Oh, so some of you it's morning. So you'd have to wear your goop all day and all night if you did it with us. But again, we could do it later. That is an extra part of this. Anyone that is looking to connect deeper with voodoo than just understanding a few spells and some of the hoodoo might be interested in finding out which spirit has noticed them, which spirit is around them. I do that through special readings, psychic x-rays that I do that help you get you in balance and on the right path. But one way is also to do like the ritual baths prior or after to see what kinds of dreams come to you. And then I'm always suggesting to start with Papa Laba. He's the gatekeeper, the guardian of the crossroads. Rituals start with him and end with him. He's the divine messenger. I also tell everyone to make an ancestral altar because they're your backup. They're with you. They're in you. You would need to start feeding your ancestors. And then learn the spirits one by one. We went over the snake spirits, Damballa and Aida Weedo, the mother and father god, you might say. It's the serpent and the rainbow, the snakes. And now we have a kindred spirit here as we go into La Serene, La Baline, Agwe, and Agasu. Agasu is an interesting one, I should say. So La Serene in New Orleans Voodoo would be in the Mammy Water family. We call her Mama New. She's usually shown through the statue of the Virgin Mary. Sometimes La Serene is also known as Saint Martha. Tomorrow is Saint Martha's feast day. Saint Martha is shown standing stepping on like a dragon or a lizard or some kind of creature, crushing it. So they've kind of associated that with her being like a mermaid. So St. Martha's day is tomorrow, and she's called upon a lot in voodoo or hoodoo. So you got St. Martha and La Serene. Agwe, that Poseidon of voodoo, he's with St. Urek. Ullrich. I don't know if I ever say it right. Ulrich. So St. Urek is his, and he would be a Catholic equivalent. La Baline kind of goes hand in hand with the aspects of La Serene with Mary and St. Martha. And then Agasu is St. Louis, and everything here is so St. Louis. So that's very big in New Orleans because St. Louis, King of France, St. Louis, Louisiana, St. Louis, everything's the St. Louis River, St. Louisiana, everything is around our lovely St. Louis. And then I'm going to open the gates when it's 5:01, and we are going to use some waters and the water spirits to connect. We get pulled away from our core reasons for being here just through life. And then now with all the universal stuff going on, we're being pulled even farther. I tried to see if I can, when I look in, where you're being pulled, why you're being pulled, how to, get you back on track. Sometimes we see past lives and they tell us the things that you couldn't let go of from then and help you let go. Sometimes it's stuff in the here and now we have to go back and forgive and let go so that we can become all that we need to be. Usually we have to be balanced in all of our elements: earth, water, fire, air, and of course spirit. But many of us are more one than the other, or one side, your receiving side is lopsided away from your sending side. We've got to get not just one thing in balance, but everything in balance for our physical healing as well as our spiritual well-being, and our magical capabilities can come through better when we're all balanced. Now, our astrological signs are part of that, but on time, I hope, is here. So technically, hello everybody. Greetings this fine day at the end of July. We are going to talk about water spirits. I did a little preempt on some of the spirits that we're going to talk about. I don't know who missed that, but it'll definitely be on the recording. I'm sure I'm going to repeat it many times inside here. But for those of you that have taken these classes with me before or met me in person, everything I do is in a ritual format. I open gates and close gates. It sets a structure and a tone to what we're going to do. It is, I believe, polite to the spirit to let them know you're coming in, right? It's also polite to tell them what we're doing and what our goals are, and ask them for help, as well as it's super important to introduce yourself to them by name. You should know their name. They should know your name. Yes, it's true. There's power in a name, but that's not it. This is to be cordial and to let them know that you know that they're there. If you don't know the names of the spirits of a place that you're going or what you're doing, you can just kind of salute to the spirits of place and say, I might not know your name. There's ways around it, So I'm going to open the gates. Open the gates, Papa. Open the gates, Legba. In the name of the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. The Marasa, the mysteries, and the Morte, open the way. St. Peter, open the way today. We call upon you. To all the spirits that are here, to the spirits that are near, I give some water to help Papa Laba Legba come through. 3 drops of water that are here for you. Open the way. The spirits of water that are here today, we ask you to open the way. The spirits of water who stole my matches, that my fire is not where it's supposed to be. The tricksters have already come out, so I see. We'll continue to talk to all the spirits that are all around, to the spirits that can hear my sounds I call you forth. We call on the spirits of north, east, south, and west. We call upon the 5th element of spirits and those that know best. We call you through. We open the way. We sit here and wait for you today. I give you water. Now, if any of you brought any of those things for the head washing, I ask you to bring them forward, and we're going to orient them up, down, left, right, catch, and put them to the side so they have been offered to all of the directions. And then I'm going to have to get up and look for the matches, so give me a second. To the spirits of fire, now I call upon thee, the spirits of the south, so mote it be. Fire to warm up everything we do, we open the way. Fire and water and earth and air. And the fifth element, Grand Master Bande, open the way. So all that is there. Yolali, Yolali. We call upon my spirit guide, Mamselle Marie, call upon the spirits of the sea. I, Bloody Mary, I, Lecoq Crow, I, Marie Laveau, I, Regina Sec, Mary Milan. Names have been known in the past, and names I'm known now, and names will be known again. I call you all forth to be at our side. I also call my grandmasters, my my guardian angels, my spirit guides, my patron saints, God goddesses on the other side, friends and family, God family too, pets and all those that come around, all my animal spirits too. We call upon them, especially the cat today, and the crab as well, to come the way. The fish and the snake are here to stay. All part of the calling today. In the name of the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, the Marasla, the mysteries, and L'amour. Open the way. I'm going to take some of my consecrated water, and I'm going to pour it a wee bit on top of my mermaid here. I am going to particularly put some on her lips, on the smaller ones. Usually your mermaid always has a brush or a comb, and I particularly have one that is an alligator. And you want to pull away any knots, any problems, any knots especially, because they say that knots are supposed to block the spirits from being able to come through. So you don't want any knots. And this is the brush and either a hand mirror or some form of mirror that you would let her see and let you see. Mirror is suspended water, according to some explanations, and you've always done the scrying that you originally did in water in mirrors, mirror scrying. So I am getting all the things here that the spirits like. Coins are excellent offerings for the water spirits. She's known to bring up the sunken treasure that is hidden below for you. Give her coins, she will give back to you. Food, of course, is always big. The spirits like different things, different kinds of offerings. Now, Agwe, who is the male counterpart and the husband of La Serene, and the counterpart also, therefore, to Mammy Waters and Mama New, usually the offerings of sheep, sheep are given. I have, when I make things with him, I will use sheep's wool, pure wool if I can get it. And we will give different offerings. Mama New particularly liked buffalo, so you can get buffalo. And if you get buffalo or lamb or whatever else you're offering, you can save some of its blood if you want to add that to a mixture of what you're doing. And pouring that out into the waters isn't for the spirits of the sea themselves. She gets it out to all the other spirits. So that's her kind of mother element there. La Baline would also like eggs and beads and shiny things as well. So La Baline is the whale. The whale is for good fortune and for travel. So even though I use the gator as a transport spirit who is adopted into the family in this area, you can also use the whale for transport, for travel, if you're trying to travel to the other side or make it all the way from that ship. And we'll do a guided meditation, that ship up into the sky for your travel as well. Not just travels in this world, but travel between the worlds where the spirit answers are. and where you get information and knowledge and power to help what you need to fix here. And there's a lot that needs to be. The ancient ancestor from long ago, the Dahomey tribe. The Dahomey area is where we got the voodoo into this area direct from Africa. And the older ancestor is said later to have crossed the seas to help his people who went into slavery. This story wasn't revolving more around Haitian voodoo, but somehow a piece of that story made it here because New Orleans was certainly known for cat people. Now, Agasu was a royal ancestor who was the offspring of the royal ancestor who mated with a royal leopard. Therefore, that kingly leopard, cloak that one might wear is part to do with the leopard clan, the leopard society of old Africa. And that union created this sacred, offspring, which would be Agasu. But somehow, this sacred offspring of a cat person hopped a ride on the back of a crab to make his way over here. So the crab made it in there as well. But he is sacredized with St. Louis, King of France, all of Louisiana and everything around here. St. Louis, and it was named after Louis, Louisiana. Therefore, cat people in New Orleans go hand in hand, even that darn movie. So you've got cat people energy here in New Orleans with Agasu, and Agasu is has definitely come to my house, and I have several voodoo hungans and mambos in the house, and many of them have their own matets. We have the entire family of water spirits that I've been talking about here, who are part of our heads, okay, as well as many others, but especially that. So we are very connected to the river. So that's why when someone asks if they use Mississippi River water as part of the head blessing, absolutely yes, So it's part of the river spirits here. And the whole town is underground rivers and bayous and Finger Lakes. And there's one big giant island where there are many areas that there's a confluence, right? And what is a confluence? It's a crossroad. And what is a crossroad? Everything. The crossroads are those liminal spots betwixt and between, where the spirits are waiting, where these physical and spiritual meld and mesh. And this is where we go in between when we're getting the spirit messages. It can be the confluence of the water and earth, or of seawater and fresh water. It could be the brackish in between. It could be a hollow in a tree, a bridge over water. It's also where water met earth. Crossroads went across. That would have been an intense crossroads. I use all of those places. If I go get earth there or water from there, the confluence is where I've done a lot of healing. And for many years, I've been called in to heal the waters. From overflow, from everything from the oil spill time to floods around the world, that I had people all around the world, and we had different confluences that we were calling and speaking and singing and dancing and feeding the spirits. Again, the spirits are hungry. They like the things they liked in life. If you want to go to the water spirits where you live, or the water areas where you live, I always say coins and eggs and honey and sweet things are very important. In New Orleans, we did something called a flying novena. A lot of people don't realize what these things are, but I think on my YouTube video I have an intense how to cook it, by the way. A good cooking show on there on my YouTube channel, Greet. I put it as a holiday meal, but it's really not. It's a ritual meal. And it's not red beans and rice like some people that haven't been in this area too long. It's black-eyed peas and rice with sugar and sweetener of the area. You cook this as a meal for the spirits. You put sugar in it, you sweeten it up, and you usually put pork in it too. And then you put little notes inside, coins, and you go do a flying novena. Somehow, whether it's in your own boat, which is not probably these days, or whether it's in a ferry or other kind of boat that goes across the Mississippi. When you get to the center of that expanse, you throw it out into the waters and ask the waters to bring something back to you. If you don't have the congree, and I make people do this when I do weddings when they come here, go across that ferry to go get your license over there and feed the waters to bring all that energy in. You can, clandestinely these days, maybe toss an egg in, and you write your prayer, your wishes on the egg. You breathe into the egg, you anoint the egg, you give it out as an offering. So you bring your eggs, you bring your congree, the black eyed peas and rice, you bring sweeteners like honey, and you give coins. You give coins as well. So feed your waters. I have a beautiful spell, a beautiful more than spell. It's a whole ritual that I will give you towards the end of this working. You would have to, by the way, get a pen and paper, or of course you can listen later and do playback to get what I say, but it would include honey and a melon and a variety of other things. However, I jump ahead. So you would feed your spirits, just like you would feed your head. So to do this head washing, we're going to mix a bunch of things together, and then we're literally going to feed it on top of your head at your fontanelle. Long ago, it was believed that your soul entered in through the fontanelle, your crown chakra, and when you died, it exits that way. I happen to see it usually come out of the solar plexus, but this is what I've been told. This is at least where it went in. And as we get older, that little fontanelle closes and closes until adolescence when it's all closed up. And some people would want to reopen it, to feed it, to open that spirit connection. And we do. We feed that literally in voodoo. And this would have the spirits come and feed upon that. Collect your waters from your sacred sites. Protect your waters from places that you travel, where other people travel and come to you. You never know what you might need them for. Collect rain waters on your rainy day so that you have the pure water. And I know all of you, I should get a cut, but I don't. Product placement, Florida water. It is an old cologne made of water, made of alcohol, having so many essences of so many different flowers in it. It is good to cool you down. It is Florida water. Florida means flowers. You can get some other kind of flower waters. You could use rose water. You could use regular water with a lot of flowers that you put in it. But this has so many different essences in it, that it appeases a lot of spirits all at once. So we can use it to calm spirits. However, we can also use it to remove spirits and exorcise them as well. You must direct everything that you do. When you use the waters and put it on, this is to cool me down. This is to take away any negativity that's on me. This is to fire me up, and this is to this and that. Tell it what to do as part of your prayer. And we use it to cool down. It's also good to, being that it's like 90% alcohol, to get rid of any germs that might be on you as well. So we have a lot of stuff that I had here for the head wash. So it's also things that are good for offerings. I oriented all of the things, which I will again, and I will be giving you holy cards for La Serena Agua Mami water, things to say and do by email, or I am going to add it into the recording so that you get more on playback for you as well. And I'll edit out all the bloopers and waiting time and stuff like that. So I have a shell that I got, a big giant snail shell that I got by the Bayou Waters. That's on this altar. That's part of it. I have previous flowers here that were lilies that were offerings that I'm going to use inside my head wash. Fresh little flowers that you pick can be good as well. I have seashells around because that's part of the, aspect of Mami water. And the whole idea of mermaids it is there. Now, Marie Laveau, Voodoo Queen, who I am a priestess Voodoo Queen in the tradition of Marie Laveau, they say she danced wonderful. She danced with a fish. She danced with a snake. This was her becoming this whole La Serena aspect, bringing down from the skies that energy of the snake, bringing the fish up from the earth, the fish tail or the snake tail being part of this. So yeah, she would dance with that. We are at the biggest snake in the country. The mouth of the snake of the Mississippi is here, and we, just like the Oracle at Delphi, will trance dance with these creatures and bring in the spirit. When you do dance, you can dance, and remember at one point you would spin counterclockwise within the dance and see if you can get tipsy, and you would be able to bring the spirit in. And you may not want to do it alone at first, but if you do, keep Florida water near, keep some salt near, things to ground you back quick enough if you can't handle it, okay? And nothing bad could happen. You could hit your head, maybe. But anyway, I have fresh camphor because I grow it myself. And I had some fresh, I got rosemary to grow at my house as well. You don't have to grow it. You go to the store and buy basil. That's very popular. I have some local honey, okay? Because the bees, as they do their magic and buzz around, collect for you. You want to use organic, or you want to use the bees that would be in your area, bring all those energies and all that spirit aspect in. And then eggs. If you have your own chickens, that's the best, but not all of us do. And we prefer white eggs, okay, for this, for the spirit. Now, you can keep one on your altar usually, stick it in some cornmeal sitting up. That's an offering for Damballa and Aida Weedo. When you transfer it, you can also use these in cleansings and use them in offerings. You write what you are asking for and a prayer and the veve, which usually in the case of La Serene is an outline of a mermaid. Very simple for you. And you could draw that on there with a variety of prayers or requests, please help me do this, blah, 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 blah. So one of them we're going to dress so that you keep it on the altar and eventually go bring it to a local waters. And one of them we're going to crack and break into this mixture that I'm going to make in front of me. So that's why I said you should have 2 eggs. If you cannot sleep with us all day and all night tonight and refrain from having relations in the middle of the night, we need one pure night from you with the goop upon your head to pay attention to your dreams and to do this right. Then wait until a night that you can do all those things. If you have some of the ingredients here now, like at least the egg, take that egg, and doing this gets blessed with it and save it for when you do the ritual. Just don't wait a month. Egg will get stinky. Wait a couple of days. Okay, so there's the 2 eggs. We are going to put all these things on the side. And champagne, wine, if you have to use juice because you don't want liquor, you can do that. Popcorn, a variety of other things, as least salt as possible. Sweetness, I have the honey, as I mentioned. And there's a variety of other things you can use as well. So we're going to go ahead and make this mixture. It is gooey and it is messy, and I ask for you to have a white head cloth as well. We won't have to put it on right now, but we're going to make it right now, so everything else we do will have those energies infused into the head wash, okay? So again, we have the champagne, which is first. So up, down, left, right, catch. You drop it from this swirl and into the next, and you catch it. I pour a little bit of that into a bowl. I have a mixing bowl. I have fresh camphor or your fresh basil. You would leaf it, push it in there. You could crush a few of the leaves together for the aroma and the scent to come out. Camphor is delicious. So you put those leaves in there, crushed and cracked and tasty, but don't eat it. Rosemary, we'll also do a cleansing while we're at it. Rosemary is wonderful to get away anything that's causing relationship cracks or problems with any form of love, anything. So we're putting some rosemary in there. The lilies, these are lilies that were offerings to the spirit, so that brings that whole energy in. Honey sweetens up the pot. So I'm going to be pouring and I didn't miss into there. And the Florida water or the perfume that you wear a lot. Don't put a lot, because when this goes down and drips into your eyes, it burns like you know what, and it will drip into your eyes. We have anything else? I'm going to probably if you want to draw with a pen, with brick dust, it's not that easy to draw with too many things on your eggs. You can go ahead. You also blow into it. Blow into it with a visualization of you being cleansed and open and fed and ready as a vehicle for the spirits. You're inviting them to come in and feed so that you may connect with them. We're inviting the spirit, the Loa, the mystery that can, the one that connects with you, that can teach you true. We call you in today, so mote it be. This is the egg. We crack the egg and we mix it in. There will be another one that we keep whole. But this is to help make the mixture. Stir it round and round and round. And yes, I'm using my finger. Round and round and round and round and round and round and round. Keep on stirring it. Stare and scry into the bowl. See if you see anything. See if it helps you be told. The spirit messages, open the way. Who is the Metet we're calling today? I want you to take your bowl and I want you to breathe into it. And I want you to state your name. I'm Bloody Mary. You were inviting the spirit, definitely. So we made a nice big gooey mixture. You're going to take a plop of that and you're going to put it on the top of your head. And you're going to rub it in. You're going to rub it all into your scalp, behind. You're going to do a head washing. You're going to dip your hands back in, take away any problems. You're going to put a little bit here on your armpits at the bends and at the elbows and behind the knees and at the bottom of the feet. Just little dabs of it at the base of your spine, all your bendy spots, but especially all over the head and the crown chakra. Most of the goo and some of the extra leaves and stuff go right at the crown chakra. And then that other egg, you save the one eggshell on the side because you're going to use that eggshell later in some ritual stuff. But you're going to take the entire egg, goo, sit that in the goo, sit it in the goo. It will dry and get crusty over the day and over the night, but you are supposed to do that. That is the right way to do that. And you have all these objects that are waiting and ready for when you're ready to do your head wash. For those of you that tie that full egg on top and around, I'm going to do my sacred rattle, my asan, as you're doing that. If you're not doing it now, you cue this up when I give it to you in recording to play right at the moment while you're doing the head washing, okay? Yola Lila, Lila spirits come through. We're calling upon La Sarine and La Balina, Agasu, Agwe. Agwe, open the way to the spirits today. And tie that around and go get something to block your eyes and let it seep in, and it will just have something handy as it runs down, or sit back while we do the rest of this working so that you don't get too much in your eye. If you're not going to do it till later, we'll try to get you these tapes out as soon as possible, as soon as they come back. If you want to wait for me to edit them all, that'll take an extra day or so. In a moment, we take a break. couche, couche. As you sleep, the spirits will be called in. They will be pulled in by the food, by our calling, by their names, by all of these elements that have been dedicated to them. You may put a figure of a mermaid under your bed on the side panel. You can draw it. You can put an actual figure of it to help set the tone for this and sleep that way. It is not the only spirit that may come through. Many, many others may come through. I have one more thing I want to add to mine. Where did it go? Ah, there it is. I know it's got a little extra buffalo energy in there. I'm going to pour that in. And now, this is definitely an offering. Put a little more honey. And I could put a lot more of the leaves so it's not as gooey. You can try to, let's say, thicken it up, all right? Or basil, if you have the basil, the holy basil, you put that in. I have sacred camphor trees that I grow and I use, so I use them and everything, and they are my choice, and it was one of Marie's choices too. She did basil, and she might have even used the camphor more. So I have the cypress tree around me, the oak trees around me, the trees that were here historically. My house is on a brush swamp. Our whole town is a brush swamp underneath it all. So I have made my mixture, and I'm going to set it out on my altar. I'm going to put a little mermaid near to watch over it as it's, even though it's not literal, ferments throughout the evening until I sleep with it or offer it in some other way. So I am wearing blue and green and the colors of the sea that are around me, and white is also very good to use. So those are some of the choices of the offerings as well. And we want to go down into the depths of not only our own soul, but down into the depths of the sea, deep underneath it all, to where maybe all life began and where we go again when we die. So we have many things that are below the sea. So with me and all of the spirits of the waters that we call forth now, I also call upon the transport of Le Grand Crocodile. Grand Crocodile and our friend the crab. This is an alligator egg, so I'll call him near. Le Grand Crocodile to help us steer as we go down deep into the depth. This is my little Gordy, my little gator who passed on. We call upon Gordy to bring us around through the sound. Again, we are spirit trapped in flesh, not the other way around. Each step that we take out of body, we're going deep, deep, deep down as we go walk towards the edge of the waters, at the bayou, at the swamp. Walk with me as we go. In each step we take, we're floating farther and farther away out of body. 10, 9, and 8. We're tiptoeing and almost bouncing throughout the worlds. 7, 6, 5, as we're now at the edge of the bayou. 4, 3, 2, we're in the water up to our chest, and then we go down below. We see the gator up ahead, and we ride upon his back and jump on as he dives down. Deep down into the waters and into the other side where we find our space, because we've got our ride. As we're going deeper, deeper to the deep sea, we find Mammy Waters, who's waiting for our La Serene. She is there. We've made it all the way there. We walk with her side by side. We swim with her with great pride as we're connecting with the beauty of nature all around. We are also coming back with virtuous knowledge from the beyond as we are swimming and dancing and twirling around, just like when we were inside of our mother, round and round. There is no separation of the sea within me and the sea up in the world. We twirl and dance and swim. Open the way as she brings us more closer up to the top. And there Agua is waiting with his boat, his ship, Imamu. Ya say, ya say, ya say. We climb up upon that boat, and he sets sail. Now it is night, but yet the sky is dark, but yet it is lit, and we can see our ride is smooth as we're going across the waters. We went to the other side, we came up on top, we go, but away we're now going up into the air, and the boat is a ship that flies through the cosmos above. The constellations that are all around, we become one and part of that. We bring that knowledge as above and so below, as we're way, way up in the stars and come way sailing down back into the water again, back to the earth, of which we walk out and are slowly up the waters, leaving the gator and the mermaid behind, leaving Agua watching as we made our climb. As we step onto the earth, we see the cat nearby. Agasu, the royal ancestor, was also along for the ride, walking stealthy and wise and knowing at our side. We have no fear of his devouring us because we are one, and every step that we take is in sync with him. Walking. As we walk the cat and we get near, stare into his eyes. We know that we too are cat people. We too are wise in one. We are with the waters. We are with the saints. We are with the stars. We are with the world. We are with the universe. Jump on the back of the cat and run through the forest until we are one and find our spot back where we're sitting. Bring back in, breathe in deep. Out. Shake it off. Family of the water spirits has accepted us, and they will take us to the ones that we need to find. If it is Agua, the Poseidon, the male, who is also the ship's captain. Remember, he likes sheep, so wool, wearing wool is also good. White wool, white sheep is usually for him. Mammy Water, who here liked the buffalo. You can make a beautiful offering for these spirits, which I do when we're outside. You can make a bark to Agua, a flat bark, something to put all your offerings on, which I love to do on St. John's Eve. And you put them on a little flat boat that you make for Agua. You put maybe some sheep in, you put some food in, you put some sweets, and you put all those things, and you just push it out into the waters. If it is pulled under not so far away, the offering has been accepted. If it will not go into, you must try again until you appease the spirits correctly again. So you could float out foods and beautiful, beautiful offerings here. I mean, you call with a conch. I'm not good at calling with a conch, but my son, who is a hunsi and an apprentice priest, he does a great bellow at the beginning of the ritual, as we call 3 times, to call all the spirits to attention. I have all of them at my side and all of them in our house as I listen to the messages. I usually get messages before a ritual to tell me what kind of offerings they want and what to bring. Please just try to be open. The spirits teach direct, and I can tell you this is what they like to eat, this is what color they love, which is the basics correspondences, but they will continue to teach to reveal themselves deeper. You have to learn to listen. Whether your way is meditating, and this would work for this one, in the bathtub, right? Because these are water spirits. Go in the bathtub. Put the mermaid on one side of you, a candle on another side, an offering on the other side. Go to do a meditation in the bathtub. You can do a full dancing and play drumming, or just dance around, or you could get dream possession, all the above. You can try to trance, just do automatic writing at a quiet time, and be devoted next to your altar as well. So everybody's going to have a different way. I work well with dreams, and it's very important that all of you keep a dream journal so that you can start to understand the way they speak to you, which is a lot in metaphor. You can also You can also email me and I'll try to interpret it as well. But continue to talk with them. You want to develop this relationship so the spirit is active within you and around you. And you do so by feeding them and nurturing the relationship. By buying little things, by singing little songs, by writing poems, by drawing. If you're an artist, for God's sake, sure, draw depictions of the mermaid. Draw the pictures that you see. I wish that I could draw many of the things that I see. I try to get other people to draw, which falls short a little bit, but I try. But if you can draw, oh please, draw, paint, do something for the spirit to release all the energies of which they teach you. Automatic art, automatic writing, singing, dancing, swimming, or in your bathtub are all places that the spirits of the seas would work at. And your water spirits. We do a lot of ritual baths in Voodoo. Adding some of these items, and be very careful when you're adding the essential oils, because you can be burnt if you put too strong of things. If you're not getting someone else make oils for you, just, do a little test part. Use fresh herbs as much as possible. They're usually not as strong or as burning capabilities as pure essential oils are. But we want to float, we will bathe in that champagne. We will bathe with eggs. We will bathe with coins. We will bathe with herbs. We will bathe with food. Bathe with all of it. You want to have ritual baths, and you would also just do salt baths to get rid of negativity, dunking and coming out and showering it off. Jumping in the ocean, if you live by the ocean, is also a way to do a ritual bath or to do a ritual, baptism. This is called head washing. It brings you closer to spirits. It feeds them. Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, the Baras of the mysteries of La Mort. What we open, we must close. Legba, close the way. This time in New Orleans, next time in Guinea, from across the world and around the world and back, I say that we are one people, that we are connected. Ashe. Aye, Bolo. Amen, guys.
Hi, Bloody Mary here. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Tell your friends. And remember, any time is a good time for you to do a cleansing, and you should do it on a regular basis. June 23rd is our biggest voodoo celebrated day of the year, St. John's Eve. It is both a fire and a water ritual. Find a natural body of water near you, and use that day to its advantage to connect with all those around the world at the same time. We all need cleansings. Talk to you soon. Come visit in New Orleans.